What if the secret to some of the world's most remarkable intellectual achievements isn't a matter of genetics, but of the environment that nurtures the mind? It's a bold question, especially when we look at the Jewish community, a group that comprises just 0.2% of the world's population, yet claims nearly a quarter of all Nobel laureates. Historically, Jewish scholars have excelled across a range of fields, from academia to medicine and law. So, what's the secret behind this extraordinary intellectual success? The Bible offers us a clue. In Proverbs 4 verse 7 it says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." This ancient wisdom reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge, grounded in values, discipline, and a thirst for understanding, is at the heart of true intelligence. For the Jewish people, education has been a cornerstone of survival, a lifelong commitment passed down through generations. In this video, we're going to uncover how Jewish intellectual success isn't just a result of innate ability, but the product of a rich culture that emphasizes education, resilience, and a deep, structured commitment to learning. Get ready to discover how nurture, not nature, holds the key to Jewish intelligence, and how these practices can inspire anyone striving for intellectual excellence. Stay tuned. Firstly, we must recognize that Jewish thinkers have shaped the course of history, making profound contributions to fields like science, philosophy, medicine, and literature. From the likes of Albert Einstein to the great scholars of the Talmud, their influence can be seen in almost every aspect of modern life. But what lies at the heart of this intellectual success? It's not about genetics or some innate biological superiority, as some outdated and unfounded ideas suggest. Instead, Jewish intellectual achievements are rooted in a culture that values education and the pursuit of wisdom. This cultural focus on learning, passed down through generations, has nurtured a strong tradition of scholarship. Jewish communities have long prioritized teaching, study, and discussion, creating an environment where intellectual curiosity can thrive. Education has always been central to Jewish culture, with its importance extending far beyond academic success. As Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks aptly noted, education is the defense of a civilization. This ethos became particularly significant after the destruction of the Second Temple, when Jewish leaders recognized the need to preserve their identity and ensure the survival of their traditions. They prioritized literacy and made the Torah accessible to all, emphasizing the ability of every individual to read and study the sacred texts. This commitment to education became a defining feature of Jewish life. Fathers were instructed to teach their sons, and over time, formal schooling systems were established within communities. The Torah itself underscores this imperative, calling for continuous teaching, when at home and away, when lying down and rising up. As a result, the ancient Israelites achieved higher literacy rates than many of their contemporaries, which enabled Jewish traditions to endure through adversity. During the diaspora, as Jewish communities spread worldwide, their commitment to education remained unwavering. Wherever they settled, they built local educational systems, maintaining literacy as a cornerstone of their culture. This dedication was particularly evident when Jewish immigrants arrived in America. Often starting with little more than hope and determination, they lived in modest neighborhoods, worked grueling jobs, and made immense sacrifices to educate their children. Despite these challenges, their steadfast belief in the transformative power of education yielded extraordinary results. Many descendants of these immigrants rose to prominence in fields such as medicine, law, science, and the arts. Their achievements reflect the essence of Proverbs 22:6. "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." This scripture encapsulates the Jewish commitment to raising generations who value learning, showing how education can transform even the most difficult circumstances into a foundation for greatness. Unlike many communities that restricted education to the elite, Jewish tradition emphasized the importance of learning for everyone. Education became an integral part of Jewish life, deeply intertwined with religious practices and traditions. For example, the Passover Seder focuses on teaching children about the Exodus, while the Bar Mitzvah, a significant rite of passage, centers on reading and studying the Torah. This profound connection between faith and education helped preserve Jewish identity through centuries of hardship. It ensured that Jewish traditions and values endured, even in the face of adversity, highlighting the enduring power of education in sustaining a people and their culture. Furthermore, in Jewish culture, every aspect of daily life is infused with ritual and purpose. From waking prayers to meal blessings, these practices foster mindfulness and gratitude, transforming even the simplest moments into opportunities for reflection. This structure not only keeps life vibrant, but also encourages intellectual curiosity. A key Jewish teaching is to express gratitude for the mundane, whether it's eating a meal, witnessing a beautiful sunset, or experiencing nature's wonders. This constant appreciation nurtures a mindset of wonder, which the Bible supports in Psalms 8:3. Jewish traditions encourage a sense of awe that stimulates creativity and learning. The ethos of wisdom begins in wonder is a guiding principle, leading to a culture where constant inquiry and intellectual growth thrive. Jewish culture has long embraced the idea that true intellectual growth comes from bridging diverse fields of study. Historical figures like Maimonides, who excelled in both medicine and philosophy, embody this interdisciplinary approach. Torah study, while central to Jewish life, complements secular education, reinforcing analytical skills across many domains. Jewish history is rich with examples of individuals who excelled in both religious and secular fields. The Vilna Gaon was a mathematician, Maimonides practiced medicine, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe was even a trained engineer. Jewish culture has also deeply appreciated poetry and the arts. The integration of Torah with secular knowledge is key to this well-rounded education, as seen in the Vilna Gaon's wisdom. If a man is deficient in the sciences, he will be deficient hundredfold in knowledge of Torah. This philosophy is exemplified by institutions like Yeshiva University, where Torah study and secular education go hand in hand, enhancing intellectual capability in all areas of life. Also, the Jewish tradition has long valued critical thinking, and one powerful example of this is the debate between the House of Hillel and the House of Shammai. These two major Jewish schools of thought argued over numerous issues for years, each holding different interpretations of Jewish law. Ultimately, a divine voice declared that Jewish law would follow the House of Hillel, not because they were necessarily smarter, but because of their unique approach to education. Hillel's students were taught to understand both sides of every argument, thoroughly exploring opposing views. In contrast, Shammai's students only studied their own perspective. This story highlights Judaism's belief in the power of divergent thinking and critical engagement. It teaches that we must respect and engage with challenging ideas, seeking understanding in all perspectives. The Jewish tradition encourages us to grow intellectually by considering ideas that challenge our own beliefs. With that said, what role does the Talmud play in fostering intellectual growth and critical thinking? The Talmud is not just a religious text. It's a record of centuries of passionate debates. It reflects a Jewish culture that values questioning, exploration, and the pursuit of truth. The saying, "Two Jews, three opinions," captures this intellectual tradition perfectly, emphasizing that differing viewpoints are not only accepted but encouraged. This culture of argumentation is rooted in the belief that growth comes from challenging ideas and refining one's understanding. The Talmud's structure is built on this principle, with rabbinic discussions presenting multiple perspectives on every issue. This process of debating helps deepen knowledge and sharpen reasoning skills, reminding us of Proverbs 27:17, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." In Judaism, intellectual progress isn't achieved by avoiding disagreement, but by engaging with it thoughtfully, learning from each conversation, and refining our beliefs. Throughout history, the Jewish people have faced relentless challenges, from forced exiles to widespread persecution. Barred from owning land or joining trades, they were often left vulnerable to exploitation. Despite living as second-class citizens, these hardships did not break their spirit. Instead, they forged a culture of resilience and adaptability. When their homes and possessions were stripped away, they turned to something no one could take: their education and faith. This focus on learning became a shield, enabling them to rebuild wherever they went. The Bible beautifully illustrates this resilience in the story of Joseph, who rose from slavery to a position of power in Egypt through wisdom and integrity. Similarly, generations of Jews transformed suffering into strength, finding innovative solutions and building a legacy of perseverance. Generational trauma taught them that while material possessions could vanish, knowledge and skills are enduring treasures. Their ability to adapt to changing environments highlights the transformative power of adversity when met with strategy and foresight. This remarkable capacity to thrive in the face of hardship reveals a profound truth. Challenges can refine us, not define us. Material wealth is fleeting, but knowledge is a treasure that endures forever. This belief became central to Jewish culture, driving a relentless pursuit of education. Centuries of adversity taught them to value what could not be stolen: wisdom, faith, and intellectual growth. From sacred texts to groundbreaking scientific discoveries, they invested in knowledge as an inheritance for future generations. This focus on intangible assets not only enabled survival through instability, but also fostered a legacy of innovation and intellectual achievement. Their story teaches us the profound truth that education is not just preparation for life, it is life itself. Jewish intellectual success can be attributed to a combination of deeply rooted cultural values and lived experiences. First, education is seen not as a choice, but as a core cultural value instilled from childhood. Second, centuries of adversity fostered resilience and adaptability, essential traits for problem solving. Third, structured daily rituals such as prayer and reflection encourage mindfulness and discipline. Fourth, their commitment to interdisciplinary learning, blending sacred texts with science and philosophy, broadens their intellectual horizons. Lastly, a culture of critical thinking and debate, inspired by studying the Torah, sharpens reasoning skills. These factors create a synergy that drives innovation and intellectual growth. The Jewish approach to education is not just a relic of the past. It holds valuable lessons for the modern world. At its core is the idea that learning is a lifelong pursuit, a belief that fosters resilience, creativity, and critical thinking. This approach encourages questioning, collaboration, and finding meaning in both success and failure. In Proverbs 4:13 it says, "Hold on to instruction, do not let it go, guard it well, for it is your life." This principle is universal, showing that education is not just about acquiring knowledge, but about building character and purpose. The Jewish emphasis on learning reminds us that curiosity and discipline can transform lives, offering a blueprint for anyone seeking growth in an ever-changing world. The Jewish legacy of intellectual achievement offers lessons that transcend culture and time. Gratitude for opportunities, the structure of daily rituals, and a commitment to interdisciplinary learning are pillars of their success. These habits encourage balance, focus, and the ability to adapt. The Bible often highlights the importance of wisdom and order, as seen in Ecclesiastes 3:1, which reminds us that to everything there is a season. This structured approach to life fosters not only intellectual growth, but also emotional resilience. By combining gratitude with curiosity, Jews have demonstrated how discipline and flexibility work hand in hand. These principles are a reminder that anyone can cultivate a mindset of growth, regardless of their background or circumstances. In conclusion, the secret to Jewish academic success lies not in biology, but in a culture that nurtures the mind and soul. At the heart of this success is a deep respect for education, paired with resilience, forged through adversity, and an unending curiosity about the world. This culture prioritizes critical thinking and the pursuit of wisdom, as reflected in the Jewish tradition of studying sacred texts. Deuteronomy 6:7 commands teaching children diligently, underscoring the value placed on passing down knowledge. This intentional focus has shaped a legacy of groundbreaking contributions to science, medicine, and the arts. It proves that nurture, not nature, plays the most significant role in intellectual achievement, offering inspiration to anyone striving for excellence and a meaningful life.